We are here with one mission, to rank every NES game ever. The best, the worst, the overrated, and the overlooked. Welcome to Every NES Game Ranked. I'm RetroNate716, and this video series is designed with one purpose, to create an exhaustive ranked list of every NES game in the library. Now, I hope as we do that, you'll take a fresh look at some of the games that you maybe have never played or never even heard of as we go through. Now, to me, it only seems appropriate to rank a game once I've actually completed it. So you'll notice that the games that we rank in today's episode are ones that have a walkthrough posted on our channel. And I'm going to put the links to those walkthroughs in the description below this video so you can check them out in further detail if you want to. That also means that this list is going to evolve over time as I finish more and more games. So be sure to subscribe to the channel below, leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, and as we go through these ranks, let me know what you think, if I got something right, wrong, or anywhere in between. And make sure to leave those comments for me because I do try to reply to everyone. Alright, we have the ground rules. Let's get our first 10 NES games ranked. Out of the first 10 games I've finished, coming in at number 10 on this list is Battletoads. The appeal to this game has been reduced solely to its difficulty. It's not really brimming with memorable music, bosses, or story, only the fact that people thought it was tough. And if I'm evaluating the overall game, that's not enough to push it past the others in our list today. Now, admittedly, the difficulty of an NES game has an appeal to me. I don't particularly like the easier ones as much as I like the more difficult, but this game pushed the difficulty too far. It actually took away some of the enjoyment. And really for me, it just became a mission to finish it just so I could say that I did. So to sum up, a weak story, boss fights, and ending sequence, difficulty to a harmful level, and a mid soundtrack and controls leave this one at the bottom of today's list. Coming in at number 9 is The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Honestly, I really like this game. It's got good graphics, an absolutely killer soundtrack, and gives you a unique variety of gameplay formats. It's got a fair level of difficulty without being ridiculous, and the boss fights are memorable, especially Gordon's goons at the end. Also, they actually give you a really satisfying ending storyline and credits, an understated aspect of games that I really appreciate. The downside on this game has to be the controls, particularly the beat-em-up stages. Without a light zapper, the shoot-em-up stages are also very tough to be precise, but to its credit, the action driving stages were very smooth. And some bonus points to this title for offering practice modes where you can work out the controls and earn power-ups prior to playing the main game. Really unique feature there. So to sum up for this one, controls are janky, but really a solid game otherwise. This game is easily one that tends to be underrated on the console. Number 8 today is Super C. While not as good as the first, this game really delivers on the Contra brand with an appropriate level of difficulty, memorable boss fights, and a strong soundtrack and level design. The game's controls are buttery smooth, and the graphics are fantastic. It's just really an enjoyable game from start to finish. Now, if I had to nitpick, which I do since I'm ranking these games, the final boss fight is a dud. In fact, it might be my least favorite boss fight in the entire game. And to end on that note, followed up by a really basic and poor ending sequence and credits, that's just unfortunate. It doesn't live up to how well the rest of the game was made. All that said, it's still a very well-made game and challenging enough to add to the experience of trying to play through it. Certainly one that I would recommend to anyone who likes NES platformers or shoot-'em-up games. At 7, we have Megaman. The first installment in this beloved series is never remembered as well as the others, but I think it deserves way more credit. It checks all the boxes. Controls, level design, soundtrack, difficulty are all great, and most notably, the boss fights are fantastic. My heart still beats just a little bit faster when you enter that final room at the end of each level. I also appreciate that this is maybe the only Mega Man where every boss only has one true weakness. I don't know, I guess I like that the stakes are a little bit higher for figuring out the Achilles heel of each robot master. Now, as with all Mega Man games, this one had a great ending sequence and credits as well, which allow you to really enjoy the fruits of your labor when you finally clear the game. It's like having that slice of cake and cup of coffee after dinner, just a perfect cap on the experience. So don't let other people's opinions on this one stop you from trying it for yourself. If nothing else, it will allow you to appreciate the foundation upon which all of the other Mega Man games were built. At number 6, we have Castlevania. There is no wonder that this franchise has been as popular as it's been, with this game being the patriarch. It's a beautifully drawn game with rich backgrounds and scenery, and the soundtrack delivers big time. Controls, gameplay, and level design are all very clean, and maybe I'm the weird one, but for me, what gives this game an edge over some of the others I've mentioned so far is that the primary weapon is the whip. That limited range attack has to be used in concert with the other secondary weapons you collect to master this game, and there's an elegance to that really resonates with me. Now, I don't know that I can really critique anything specifically about this game. My ranking is just going off of the overall enjoyment I experienced running through it. The boss battles are great and high stakes, and the ending sequence and credits are satisfying. Really just top to bottom, a great game on the console. And if this is coming in at only number 6, we must have some real bangers in our top 5. Starting our top 5 is Crystalis, in at number 5. This action RPG does so many things well and provides players with great bang for their buck. The graphics are clean and the gameplay is really enjoyable. It's got a great story, and your tasks are made clear enough to never feel completely lost at any point. And when I was replaying this one, I noted just how I never wanted to put the controller down. It's that kind of a game. One that basically hits the snooze button on quitting over and over and over again. The boss battles in this game are epic, including a fantastic encounter with Emperor Dragon just before the end of the game. The closing sequence and credits do a service to the story told throughout. It's just really well done. Now, the one knock I would give to it is that its inventory system, which requires switching back and forth between items, spells, and weapons regularly, kind of annoying. But it really never took away any of the enjoyment that I had from playing it. In my opinion, Crystalis is one of the more slept-on RPGs on the entire console. Number 4 in this batch of games is Mega Man 2. Now, I might take some heat for this not being ranked higher, but I have to be as honest as I can be with these. I really like the game, and it's a noticeable improvement from the original. I loved the introduction of unique items, and as I said in the walkthrough, this game might have the best soundtrack on the entire console. The only issue I have with this game is that it's really easy to complete. Many Robot Masters now have multiple weaknesses, and some of the weapons that Mega Man collects are overpowered. Metal Blade! That combined with the availability of energy tanks, and this game is pretty simple. But that's really the only weakness I perceive. All of the other aspects, gameplay, soundtrack, level design, boss fights, and the closing sequence are all a step up from the original. In at number 3 is Contra. Now, while I don't believe that this game is the best on the console, I will admit that it is my personal favorite to replay. It's like my favorite comfort show that I go back to over and over again, and I think there's good reason for that. The graphics, level design, and soundtrack to this game are really impressive, and Waterfall might be my favorite level of any game on the NES. Controls for this are tight and responsive, and like any game in the Contra franchise, it is all about the boss fights. Now, some people seem to think that this game is too difficult, while others think that it's too simple. I think that's the mark of a game at a perfect difficulty level. Clearing Contra without the code is a badge of honor and a satisfying achievement. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have that listed on my resume under special skills. Anyway, the only thing that I could have made this game a little bit sweeter is just a tiny bit of story between the levels. But other than that, I can't poke any holes in it. This game is sweet. The runner-up for today's list at number 2 is Bionic Commando. Capcom delivered a beauty with this one, made so unique and memorable with the use of the bionic arm to ascend and swing from platforms. This game feels like a beautiful Frankenstein of elements of RPG, platformer, shoot 'em up, and Metroidvania all in one, and it all works. It's just so satisfying to complete, and mastering that bionic arm mechanic is as rewarding as it is challenging. The collection of each of the items and tracking down Super Joe across the overworld map creates a really immersive experience, and this game features, in my opinion, the best ending and closing sequence that I have seen to date, complete with an exploding head and heart-pounding escape. Just FYI, channel members get access to that exploding head as one of our custom emojis on the channel. Shameless plug, sorry. So what game could possibly be better than this? Well, since you asked, taking the top spot on today's list is Ninja Gaiden. The only word I can think of to describe this game is masterpiece. Playing through it is to play through an immersive cinematic experience. The gameplay graphics are strong, but the cutscene graphics in this game are superior. The controls are smooth and responsive, and the soundtrack is fantastic. This game is difficult to complete, bordering on painful at times, but the reward for completing it washes all that pain away with a stunning ending sequence and credits. So unique too is the final boss encounter, which in fact has 3 phases, creating high stakes and high drama as you complete it. The enemy respawns are really annoying, I get it, but to that I would say, get good! Some of the beauty of the NES games is that they were tough, and this one leans into that brilliantly. So after 10 games are complete, Ninja Gaiden is my current reigning #1 game. So that's how I see the 10 in today's episode. What did you think of it? Leave a comment for me and let me know what you think I got right, wrong, or anywhere in between. And be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more episodes of every NES game ranked coming out soon. In the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.